Assalamu alaikum, children. Assalamu alaikum, Pip. Thanks for coming. Pip, you've come back to my majlis. The sitting lion is here waiting and you're falling asleep. What's the matter?
Oh, sorry, Layla. I must have fallen asleep there.
Yeah, you did. I was talking to you the whole time. Did you hear anything I said?
Assalamu alaikum, Layla. Assalamu alaikum, children.
But you were so tired. Your eyes were open. That's how tired you were.
My eyes are always open. Us monsters don't have eyelids.
Okay, well
They go all the way down.
I know why you're tired. You went to a majlis last night. You haven't been to bed yet, have you?
Oh, how did you know, Layla? But I didn't go to a majlis. It would have been okay if I went to a majlis. Instead, I went to go see Auntie Jamila.
Oh, Auntie Jamila with the baby. I love babies.
The baby's so cute.
Mm.
And Layla.
Yeah.
He used to be so cute and he never used to cry. But I stayed one night there and all it did was cry. Every time Pip would try and fall asleep, it would go, wah, wah.
But Pip, that's what babies do. Otherwise they couldn't tell us if something was wrong.
Oh, they're so annoying.
Oh, they're all right. You just need to, make sure that they're okay.
Yeah, like feed them, change their nappy.
Yeah.
Or like, just do baby things with them.
Yeah, you can do baby things with them, but sometimes, babies cry for all sorts of reasons. Like,
really, Layla?
Yeah.
You know what? Was there a baby in Karbala?
There was baby Ali Asgar, and he only needed a little bit of water to quench his thirst.
Oh, yeah, baby Ali and Asgar. Oh, he's so... Oh, it really hurts my heart when I think about him.
Absolutely. He wasn't shown any mercy by the enemies of Islam.
Is our majlis about baby Ali and Asgar today?
It is about baby Ali Asgar.
What does Asgar mean? Do you know, Layla?
That's a good question, children. Do you at home know what it means? Maybe Pip can tell us.
I do. It means small.
Oh.
So, like, he was the small Ali.
The small Ali. Thank you, Pip, for sharing that with me. I didn't know that. You learn something new every day.
Yeah.
Thank you, Pip, for sharing that with us and the children
and too. Because Ali and Asgar had a brother called Ali Akbar.
I know Ali Akbar means great, which means big, because Ali Akbar was the bigger brother.
Yeah, you guessed right. Well done, Layla.
Oh.
Let's recite the salawat.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Well, this baby was a very, very, very special baby.
Yeah.
So, baby Ali Asgar, he was tiny and he was out there with his father and his mother. And all that time, he was such a good baby. He didn't do anything wrong. He was just an innocent little child who wanted to be with his family and his father. And guess what? The enemies of Islam, they were just so horrible to him.
Oh,
all he needed was not even a teaspoon of water. But at that point, on the day of Ashura, Imam Hussein had lost so many of his companions in the battlefield. He was crying out for help and the situation was absolutely terrible. You know what happened when Imam Hussein called out, "Is there anyone to help me?" Ali Asgar fell from his cradle.
Oh, to say that he would help Imam Hussein.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, Ali and Asgar. So amazing.
Even though he was so small, Imam Hussein knew what he was trying to say. Imam Hussein went to Rubab.
Who's Rubab?
The mother of Ali Asgar. Ali Asgar was sitting in her lap and she was crying and she was trying to comfort him. So Imam Hussein, he picked up baby Ali Asgar and whispered in his ear.
I bet he was really happy to be with his father.
Absolutely, just like you're happy when you're with your dad.
I love my dad and my mum.
Oh, mashallah. Ali Asgar stopped crying. He looked up at his father and he said, Imam Hussein looked at the mother of Ali Asgar and said, "I am taking Ali Asgar to the battlefield with me so that I can get some water for him."
Oh.
Yeah, he was thirsty. Remember, by this time in the Battle of Karbala, many, many days had passed where the whole camp of Imam Hussein was going without water. It must have been, gosh, it must have been so hot in that desert heat. Can you imagine? Sometimes I don't want to think about it.
Yeah, it must be really hot. Sometimes when I leave the heating on inside the house, I start sweating and I say to my mum, please turn it off. It's so hot. I need water. And then you think about Imam Hussein.
I know.
It's 10 times worse.
100 times worse.
Yeah, 1,000 times worse.
But what did Imam Hussein whisper in baby Ali Asgar's ear? What made baby Ali Asgar stop crying and smile? Imam Hussein whispered in his ear, Ali Asgar, my dear beloved baby, do you want to come to the battlefield with me? Ali Asgar, do you want to show your strength on the battlefield? Come on, let's go, my little mujahid, my little soldier, Ali Asgar. He spoke so softly to baby Ali Asgar. It was really gentle, really touching.
Love Imam Hussein.
Yeah, it's like, do you remember when your little baby brother was born?
No.
Oh, you don't remember?
Can you remind me?
You know when they brought Peck home? He was tiny and you tried to pick him up and then you dropped him. But it was okay. You were just trying to show the baby how much you loved him.
I didn't really drop him. I think he conveniently fell onto the floor.
Okay. Well, Rubab changed Ali Asgar's clothes. You know, babies, they have like small clothes.
Remember like baby clothes. When Peck was born, he got loads of new baby clothes.
Yeah, he did. And they have little nappies as well. Well, Rubab changed Ali Asgar's clothes and Imam Hussein carried Ali Asgar to the battlefield. It was so hot. Ali Asgar was thirsty. Imam Hussein covered baby Ali Asgar with his abba to protect him from the burning heat of the sun. Can you imagine? There's no shade in Karbala. There were no trees. There was nowhere to, you know.
So you mean to say, like, when he was covered in Imam Hussein's abba, which is his cloak?
Yeah.
How could the enemies tell if that was a baby?
Well, when Yazid's men saw Imam Hussein approaching with something in his hand, do you know what they did? They made fun of him. They said,
why?
Well, listen, look, Imam Hussein, he's coming with the Quran. He thinks.
Oh, that means that he wanted to give up. That's what, when you, in those times, my daddy tells me that if you took a Quran to the battlefield during war, it means that you want to give up.
Oh, but it wasn't the Quran. They were making fun of him.
Well, do you know what, Layla?
Yeah.
Imam Hussein is a walking, talking Quran.
I know. He didn't need to carry an actual Quran with him.
Yeah, he is. He's the defender of the Quran.
He is the defender he's the defender of Islam, our wonderful religion. If it wasn't for him and the Battle of Karbala, well, we would have lost our religion, and where would we be then?
That's true.
The enemy were making fun of him. They said, oh, look, Imam Hussein, he's coming with a Quran. He's got no one left to help him. What's he going to do with the help of the Quran? Do you think he's going to win? Can you imagine how rude they were to the Imam of their time? How can you speak to someone like Hussein, Imam Hussein, the grandson of Rasulullah?
Yeah.
Well, Hussein walked to Yazid's soldiers. By moving his abba, he uncovered Ali Asgar. He held Ali Asgar high up with both of his hands.
Like that?
Yeah, like that. If we put our hands together, and baby Ali Asgar was just there. And he said, "O soldiers of Yazid, if you feel that I've hurt you or upset you in any way, please don't hurt this child. The child's done nothing wrong. His mother's milk, there's none left. He hasn't had a drop of water for 3 days.
Oh, that's so sad.
He's dying of thirst. Please, I'm pleading with you to give water to this innocent little child."
And I know what happens next.
What happened?
Oh, it's really sad, Layla.
Well,
the one of the guys and the baddies, he said, quench the thirst of Ali and Asgar, but they didn't give him water.
yeah, they stopped him, didn't they? Not one of Yazid's soldiers brought any water for Ali Asgar. And once more, Imam Hussein pleaded and they said, maybe you think that when you bring water for this child, I'll drink it. But I won't. Look, I'm going to put the baby on the ground.
Oh, in the burning sun.
In the burning sun. You give him water.
That's so... Oh, it makes me so sad, Layla.
It makes me very sad too.
Do you know what? When you were telling me about that, when Imam Hussein got to Karbala and he had the water, he even gave it to the horses.
He did, and he even made sure that the enemy soldiers got
As
water.
in the enemies, even their horses got water.
Did they?
And they couldn't even give water to Imam Hussein's son.
I know, not even a teaspoon of water. A baby doesn't need that much water to get rid of its thirst, but they wouldn't even give that to the baby. It was a terrible time. He said, I'll put this child on the ground, you can come and give him water yourself. So Imam Hussein placed Ali Asgar on the burning sand of Karbala. It must have been terrible. Ali Asgar lay quietly on the hot sand of Karbala. He turned his head and stared at the enemies, Yazid's men, but no water came for Ali Asgar.
Some of them started to cry. You know that, Layla.
Why were they crying, Pip?
Because they said, oh, look at this baby. And they started feeling really bad for it, some of them. And so, you know, the baddies, they said, we have to stop this now. And that's when it becomes really hard.
I know, it is very hard. Whenever I think about it, I get like a big lump in my throat, like I feel like I'm going to cry. But yeah, I do honestly think that some of those men who were the baddies, some of them actually deep down inside, they knew what they were doing was wrong.
A lot of them did know. They were just foolish and greedy.
Yeah.
And evil.
And some of them honestly believed that they were doing the right thing, Pip. That they were carrying out, you know, their leaders', you know, orders. And they thought that they should follow the leader of their time.
You know what's so beautiful about this story? My mummy was saying that Imam Hussein said to Ali and al-Asghar, please fight the enemies with your tongue. And you know what happened then?
What?
Ali and al-Asghar put out his tongue.
Oh, like a little arrow.
Yeah. And then he just put it around his lips to show he was thirsty. And then at that time, they got really, like, you know, the enemies, the soldiers on the other side, all of the enemies, they were like, what shall we do?
I know.
And then,
it was terrible.
Really horrible bit.
Well, when the Yazid soldiers saw baby Ali Asgar sticking out his tongue because it was so dry and because he was so thirsty, it struck their hearts. In the same way, like an arrow might have struck their heart.
Yeah,
it
some
really
of them were
hurt
saying,
them.
what is Imam was saying? He probably is saying the truth. What has this child done to us?
Exactly.
You know? Why has he punished us like this?
Yeah.
Let's give him some water, maybe, they said.
That's right. And they spoke amongst themselves. Some of them said, Imam Hussein is telling the truth. What has this child done to us? Why is he being punished like this? Please, let's give him some water. But guess who came along?
Oh, that naughty man, I bet.
Umar ibn Saad.
Oh, I hate him.
I know, he's the worst, isn't he?
Ugh.
Imam Hussein spent hours talking to him, trying to get through to him. They spent days trying to come to some sort of agreement.
And you know how he repays Imam Hussein? It's horrible.
He doesn't even give any water to his baby son.
He does worse.
What?
When he orders for the arrow.
I know. He ordered that the arrow go towards baby Ali Asgar. You see, what happened was Umar ibn Saad got really worried that his soldiers would change their mind and fight with Imam Hussein against him. So the little soldiers fight, you know, when Ali Asgar stuck out his tongue, it was very, very powerful.
Yeah.
Little Ali Asgar was fighting his jihad in this way. Do you see?
Wow.
He couldn't pick up a sword or fire an arrow or throw a spear.
I know who shot the arrow.
Do you know who shot the arrow?
Yeah. I don't like him. Can I say his name?
Do you have to?
His name's Hormala.
Oh, it sounds...
Oh, I really hate him. You know why?
Why?
Because he used an arrow, which is used... So my mummy said they use that to kill camels.
Ooh.
And sometimes even elephants, because they have thick skin.
And big fat necks.
Yeah, and the arrow it has 3 heads. It's a 3-pronged arrow.
Like this?
Oh, Layla, but why would they put that on the neck of Ali and al-Asghar?
Because they knew what Imam Hussein stood for, and they were trying to wipe out any trace of Imam Hussein on the plains of Karbala.
I was thinking about this last night.
Yeah.
And I thought, you know why they used that?
Why?
Because Ali al-Asgar was stronger than a camel and an elephant. He was stronger than a lion. He was stronger than the soldiers of Yazid. And they knew that the only way they could kill a son of Hussein was through the most powerful arrow they had.
I know.
And sometimes when it makes me really sad, but it makes me really proud. Because he fought the most, you know.
I know. He did, and it teaches me that they must have actually been really, really scared of Imam Hussein in his camp. I mean, I know, for example, Umar ibn Saad, before the battle started, he said, look at Imam Hussein's camp. Not one of them are worried about meeting death. We have got the best equipment and army and swords and spears, but they've got faith and belief in Allah. When that arrow went into the neck of baby Ali Asgar, the ground said, because obviously blood came out.
So Imam Hussein collected it in his hands, didn't he?
Do you know why he collected it in his hands?
No.
Because the ground spoke. The ground beneath his feet said, I don't want to take a single drop of baby Ali Asgar's blood.
Yeah. And it said that nothing would grow from that land if it did.
Nothing would grow. You see, children, if any of that blood did actually get onto the ground, nothing would grow. There are no crops, no trees, nothing. And then the sky spoke.
Because Imam Hussein was going to throw it into the sky.
He was going to send it up towards the heavens, and the sky said, if that blood comes towards the sky, it will never rain on this land.
And then Imam Hussein he said, you know what, I'll put this on my beard.
I'll put it all over my face.
He rubbed it on his beard and he said, I'm going to show that to my grandfather, saying, this is what your nation has done to me, your people, the ones that believed in you.
Yeah.
You know what, Layla?
Yeah.
It's really, really sad what happened, because, you know, I just wonder sometimes though, when we go to the Muharram A'mal, you know, on the day of Ashura, we have to walk 7 times, like saying, surely we are from Allah, and to Allah we return.
Oh, you mean when they say, Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un?
Yeah, 7 times, and we have to go back and forth. And I never understand why we do it. I mean, I know it's a verse of the Holy Quran.
I think I know what you're talking about. That's because when baby Ali Asgar left this world, Imam Hussein didn't know how to go to his mother and tell her that her baby had left this world. So he paced up and down 7 times outside of the tent. It must have been such a difficult and painful thing to tell the mother of a 6-month-old baby that her baby had been killed in probably one of the most painful and most difficult ways you could ever imagine. Imam Hussein went to the tent of Rubab and he spoke and he said, your baby has left this world.
Oh, that's so sad.
Yes.
You know what?
And she was waiting and waiting and waiting. And he said, how can I see Rubab? What shall I tell her? How can I tell her that her baby's been martyred without water? How? 7 times he went backwards and forwards, saying, Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. We are from Allah and to Him we will return. So he finally reached the tent where Rubab was standing. Rubab came and she took Ali Asgar in her arms and she hugged him and then she cried her heart out. She cried and she cried and she said, my little soldier has died for the sake of Allah. Rubab took this child and she hugged him and she held him close. Imam Hussein, come with me, Rubab, enough, let us bury our beloved baby Ali Asgar.
That's so sad. So they buried it.
They buried him. Imam Hussein dug a small grave with his sword, the Dhul-Fiqar, the sword of Imam Ali. Rubab placed Ali Asgar in the small grave.
I bet that was the hardest task that Dhul-Fiqar had to do.
I know.
I mean, it would have been so easy just killing the enemies, but never would the Dhul-Fiqar have thought that he would be digging a grave for the grandson of Imam Ali.
I know. I'm sure the sword didn't ever think it would have to do something like that. It must have been so difficult. I don't even want to imagine what it's like. I mean, imagine if something happened to Peck. Just when you dropped him, your parents came rushing. So imagine this.
Yeah, that's true. You know what, Layla?
Yeah,
Today's majlis has been really emotional.
it has. What do you mean by emotional?
It's made me like really think about a lot of things, and I feel quite upset. And
I know.
today when I go to the majlis later on, I want to do Martam. Do you know? I want to do Martam because I feel really sad.
A lot of people are feeling sad in this majlis.
Yeah,
It's a very
Hussein.
difficult one because
Because I'm feeling really sad. But is that a bad thing, Layla?
no, it's not a bad thing. In fact, crying on this night is something that we should do. Why shouldn't we cry? Why shouldn't we remember baby Ali
Imam
Asgar?
Hussein gives so much. We should cry for him.
I know. Can you imagine going into the battlefield? Everybody's gone at this point in the day of Ashura. Nobody's left. He's held his baby up into the sky. He's trying to talk to the enemy. He's trying to get some water for the baby before he passes away and leaves this world. But they showed him no mercy. They were unmerciful. Imam Hussein didn't even have any water to sprinkle on Ali Asgar's grave. There's no water to sprinkle.
Oh, that's so sad.
Imam Hussein sat by the grave crying. Tears poured on the grave of Ali Asgar. Ali Asgar's grave was sprinkled with Imam Hussein's tears. We'll never forget baby Ali Asgar.
Oh, I never will. You know what, children? Today's majlis has been really emotional.
Yeah.
It's been really filled with very sad stories. And the story of Hazrat Ali Asgar makes me want to cry. But remember, it's always good to cry for Imam Hussein, isn't it, Layla?
It is, and don't forget Lady Fatima, peace be upon her, collects those precious tears.
Yeah.
And they'll protect you in this world and the next, won't they,
So
Pip?
make sure, children, when you go to a majlis and you feel like you want to cry, cry for Imam Hussein.
Cry your heart out.
Oh, condolences to you and your family, Layla.
Condolences to you and your family.
Children, remember these days are very special and we should always try and be sad because this is the most saddest time in the whole world and in the whole history of our world.
Absolutely.
Make sure you take care.
Take care. Thank you, Pip, for those really, really powerful words. And thank you for watching. And inshallah, keep praying for us as we pray for you. Ma salam.
Ma salam.